Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of The Father, the Son, and the Podcast. My name is Ian. I am the Son.
My name is Paul, and I am the Father.
And this is our podcast. Now, Pops, we're doing things a little bit differently today. We're recording this at the end of the episode after we've talked about everything so we can let people know what's in store for this episode. Pops, what do people have in store for this episode?
Well, what's in store in this episode is
I have
our review
$20
of...
to spend at this store. What can I buy? Go.
Well, you can buy a review of Deadpool 2.
Nice.
Because we both saw it, although
How much
not
does that
together.
cost?
That costs $3.
$3. I got 17 left.
That's it. That's it. So now we have. We also have to review 2 episodes of My Hero Academia. Those are $2 each.
We kind of we talk about like 4 or 5 episodes, but we really focus on 2.
Yeah, we do. All right. So then the other 2 are $1 a piece.
Okay, so that's what, $6 now plus the $3, $9. I got $11 left.
$11 left. Well, then we get into a little. What else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about
your brother.
My brother.
Why?
That actually we have to pay money to talk about
right.
him. So
You're right. Sorry.
And then we have we also talked about Johnny Dangerously a little bit.
did?
Yeah, old school movie.
50 cents because we found it at 50 cents bin at Walmart.
That's right. And then we talked about sports. One of your favorite topics.
One of my favorite topics. That takes the
and
rest
how
of our
spoiled you are, and your generation is spoiled with the success of the local sports teams.
That only costs $1, but I love it so much I just gave them the rest of my money.
There it is.
Because
We're
I
done.
think that's all the topics we talk about this episode.
Yeah, I think so.
So if that sounds good to you, keep listening because the rest of this episode will sound
And if you have something we
fantastic.
want to talk about, why don't you make a suggestion?
True. We talk about where you can find us on iTunes and on Google and maybe Spotify eventually. Hopefully, we'll find out. Stay tuned for more coming up. It's been like a month since we've recorded an episode.
I don't think it's been a month.
I think it's been at least 4 episodes of My Hero Academia.
So then maybe it's been about a month.
Maybe it's been about a month. What have you been up to? What's new? What's happened? What's going down?
It's busy. I've been very, very busy. Busy.
Okay.
Just like the character from Frosty the Snowman. So listen.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. Totally going old school. Hey, well, a lot of stuff has happened. My daughter, your sister, has graduated from high school.
Oh yeah, what a weird
so
thing.
Congratulations out to
me
her.
for graduating cum laude, and she didn't. Dude,
Stop it.
Wait, listen, when we were out to dinner, like every chance I got, like we were doing like a toast and stuff, and Mom would say, "I just want to say congratulations," and I would jump in and go, "To me for graduating cum laude." every chance I got I brought it up, and it was really funny.
And what are the 3? What's it? Magna cum laude,
Summa
cum laude. The radio's too loud. Little Johnny Dangerously reference.
There's that movie. So let's talk about that for briefly. That's a movie that Dad told me to watch, that we watched together. I was expecting it to be a good movie because I know you. I know you like movies, etc., etc. And he would tell me the jokes in this movie over and over. So I thought, I'm going to watch this movie, and none of these jokes are going to be funny. Even the jokes that he told me 1,000 times were still hilarious. And I laughed out loud laughing because just the delivery, the setup, everything about the jokes in the movie is just prime time. So good.
So you're going to edit this? So that might be the recommendation this week.
Maybe. Dude, you can do the recommendation. What I was expecting you to do with the movie recommendations is to recommend something that has to do with like the episode that we were talking about. So, for example, in like the Marvel movies, I was expecting you to say your recommendation was The Incredible Hulk because we kept referencing that movie over and over.
No, but they're not good.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm only going to recommend good movies. I have a
True.
reputation to protect.
Uphold?
As a aficionado of all movies.
As a professional.
Yes.
As a professional.
Better than Siskel and Ebert, my reviews.
Because you have 4 thumbs, because I got 2 right here for you.
That's it. Okay.
We both saw Deadpool, too.
Yes.
What'd you think of Deadpool 1?
Oh, Deadpool 1 was fantastic. It really was. It was Surprisingly funny.
What
They
a
did a
gem.
great job with it.
12 years in the making.
Yeah, unbelievable job. The casting was perfect as Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. But and then to have Uncle Mark actually like an action hero
know.
movie, this movie's
He
good.
has every time he sees a movie now, Pops, he texts me and goes, I saw this movie, it wasn't good. I saw this movie, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Saw this movie, it wasn't good. I forget what he just told me he saw the other day. I think he's
Thor
Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah, he's like, I watched Thor Ragnarok and it wasn't good. I was like, Mark, stay in your lane, dude. You don't like these movies. Why do you keep trying?
You liked
Why do you
one,
keep
and now
watching
you're gonna
it?
keep
I
trying.
know.
We'll tell you
And
which
no.
ones you're gonna like.
And then he goes, I guess I'm just not a nerd. I go, yeah, you must. I'm like, you're probably the coolest person I know. And he goes, Indiana Jones would beat Han Solo in a fight. And I go, I just realized now maybe that's referencing our podcast. Either way.
Yes.
I go, so you are a nerd. And he goes, no, I don't like Indiana Jones either. I go, okay, I guess you are pretty cool then.
Right.
I don't know why he keeps trying it out.
Hey, applaud his efforts.
Like,
You have to applaud his efforts.
Because I'm not gonna applaud his efforts because every time he watches a movie, he basically texts me going, "You like this stuff?"
Even if he liked it, he's gonna give you a hard time because that's just him.
He didn't give me a hard time about Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool was good though.
Has he even seen Deadpool 2 yet?
No, but
Do you think
he'll
he
go
would
see.
like
Yeah,
Deadpool
he'll go see
2?
Deadpool 2.
Do you think he would like Deadpool 2?
How can you
I
not?
feel like there's too much comic book
No.
stuff in Deadpool 2.
No, he'll like it.
Deadpool 2 was really good.
Yes, it was.
It was a lot of fun. I really liked the hype up of the X-Force and then the immediate downfall of the X-Force.
Yes. And then, as I called it in Infinity Wars,
Yes.
the major
Yes.
battle scene,
I know.
I actually predicted that would happen, and it happened, and it had to happen. And then I also called it in Deadpool that should happen.
Yes.
And it did happen.
I was watching the scene. So I think we're just going to go full spoilers on this.
yeah.
Because
Of
it's
course
been,
we
it's
have
been
to.
out
At
for
this
like a
point,
month.
It's been out. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's seen it.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Are you kidding
You
me?
kidding me?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Let me talk.
Okay.
Okay, you can talk.
My turn?
Yeah, you can.
All right, I'll go. No, you can.
Actually, I want. Yeah, can I?
No.
I want to.
But-
Would I just? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Take a lights. All right, listen.
Go
So
ahead.
finally, the big scene was that I always predicted, as in they missed the opportunity in X-Men 3, I believe,
Yeah.
where they should have had
Last
Colossus
Stand.
fight Juggernaut.
Yeah. So
they
leading
didn't.
up to Juggernaut, I will go before you because you're just going right to the fight. I'm going to the lead up to the fight. They're in the prison. He's in the prison with Fire Fist. Deadpool's in the prison with Fire Fist, and Deadpool's like, you got to make friends with the biggest person, and they're like the biggest guys over there, right? And I'm like, who is this gonna be? I can't think of any mutant that could be in that room that would be like large. And I'm like, except Juggernaut. But they're not gonna do Juggernaut, are they? Later on in the movie, guess who shows up?
Juggernaut.
The Hulk. And it's like, I was so excited to see Juggernaut. He was so well done.
Yeah, he was.
The CGI in his face was a little wonky. It looked a little weird sometimes, but all in all, I think they did a good job with Juggernaut. I was very happy to see him.
And they did. I think they did a great job with the fight scene itself.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of
know.
fun.
Actually, Colossus lost a tooth.
I know.
That's awesome.
And he's like, Deadpool's like, don't hold back. Just do it like you do in Russia. And he's
Yeah.
like, you got it. Oh, and then at the end, when Deadpool's got like the 10-minute death scene where he just keeps dying.
We are skipping all over the place.
I know, but I feel like it's appropriate for this type of movie.
It was just so. Let's talk about the characters. The
So-
new characters are kind of introduced.
The
right?
X-Force.
So X-Force, which
that was the best.
dude, the whole movie was done well
I
because
know, man. I really enjoyed
the invisible guy that you never saw until
And
he got
there'd be Brad
electrocuted,
Pitt.
and it's Brad Pitt.
it. Terry Crews was in this,
But
for
you
a
only
minute.
see him because he got electrocuted.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, it was so funny.
And then Terry Crews is in the movie and think, oh, this is going to be awesome.
I know.
And then he gets killed as soon as he jumps out of the plane.
What happened with? How did Terry Crews die?
He fell into a bus, didn't he?
No, I know the acid spit guy was in a wood chipper,
Yeah, he went
and
into
then Pete died because the acid guy threw up on him.
right.
How did Terry Crews die?
Didn't he go into a bus or a sign maybe? I think he got hit by a bus.
Oh, maybe he went into a sign.
I forget.
And then there was that other guy, the alien guy, who was kind of a prick. He died too. Like he got.
Yeah.
I think he got hit by.
Everybody died except. Let's talk about Domino.
Oh yeah, Domino. Domino was great, man.
What's her power?
Luck?
Luck.
How is that? How is that? How is that a mutation? It doesn't sound very cinematic. I think they handled that perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
They handled that so well, and I think Domino was great in this movie. I think the girl playing her did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Absolutely.
the person who plays Domino is in Atlanta. You know that show that I've been telling you
Yeah,
about for
yeah,
ages?
yep.
She's in Atlanta, and she does a really good job in Atlanta.
Well, I can see that. She good
She
actress.
kills it. Yeah, she was a lot of fun in that. Everybody was a lot of fun in that movie.
Of course it was.
The instant friendship between Negasonic's girlfriend and Deadpool, where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, that was so funny.
And that
man.
pissed her off like a teenager would.
It was so good.
And then of course, Cable.
Oh yeah, Cable was
Josh Brolin as Cable.
Cable. I was kind of skeptical about Cable.
Yeah, they pulled it off pretty good.
Because the promotional stuff for him made him look like he was going to be a goofy guy. Like the first picture you saw
Yeah.
of Cable, he was like doing a shush thing and he had like the gun and the teddy bear. And it's like, why does Cable look like he's having a good time?
Right.
He was not having a good time in this movie. And it was so much fun to watch
Right,
him have a
right.
terrible time. It was so good. Cable was really good.
Yep. Cable was. It was the movie itself was. I want to go see it again actually because
I do want to watch it.
It was
again.
so entertaining, and then
We still haven't seen Infinity War again.
I know. We have
We
to
should
go
just
see
do a
that
double
too.
feature.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
We should have a triple feature.
So
Toss Incredibles in there. Even more superheroes.
as I saw this movie
Yes.
in a small theater down the Cape, Plymouth actually, I was literally laughing out loud.
Yes, this was so
belly
funny.
laughing with the whole leg scene.
Oh my goodness
Dude,
gracious!
that scene just continued to go on, and I continued to laugh
it just kept going.
harder and harder.
And
I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
me too, man. Like you had the baby hand scene in the first one, and that was so funny. He's
Right.
like, "I bet I feel huge with this," but that whole thing, everything anybody said throughout that whole scene was pure gold. TJ Miller when he's like, "Oh my," he's doing the full shirt and balls. He's doing the full,
He's
like-
doing full shirt balls. He's doing Basic Instinct. He's doing the full Basic Instinct right
It's-
now.
And then
But
he's
the funniest thing of all that, it's like funny the legs, the small legs they're growing. But when when they're talking to him, and he's got his legs crossed, and he's just bouncing his little leg like this. Dude, I don't know what it was about that scene, but
it was
I
so
lost
fu-
it. I
it
was
was-
cracking up.
It was the juxtaposition of Ryan Reynolds' very grown man body
Yeah.
with these baby
with
legs.
these kid legs.
It's so funny.
baby legs, and he's just sitting there, got him crossed over, bouncing his leg with his hand behind his head,
It's-
like, what's
oh,
going on?
And then when he starts
my
walking
God.
for the first time, everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's doing it."
Yeah, he's actually gonna get up. He's actually gonna stand up. Such a good scene, man.
man.
Such a good scene.
That
You
was
should almost bring it up so we could watch it
I
again.
know, for real. So then you have the 10-minute long death scene of Deadpool, where he lays out. Oh no, one more thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Next time you
oh yeah.
guys-
By the way.
By the way, and then he asks Colossus to say the F word, and Colossus is like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
That was good, man. Everything about
Yeah, and it actually blended in some real good stuff too. Like when he's going back to visit after his wife gets killed,
Yes.
to go back and visit her and try to,
oh, like the flash, like the
fla-
dream
yeah, the dream
scenes.
sequence was done very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are let's talk about the post credit scene. Usually I do this after the outro, but we're just talking. Let's talk about the post credit scene and how Deadpool just goes back in time and just fixes all this random stuff.
Yeah.
If this were any other like Marvel movie, I would be so mad. Like this is breaking, this is world breaking. This, but it doesn't matter in a Deadpool movie.
No.
The next movie, everybody could forget about everything that happened in this one because it doesn't matter.
Right. They're not really related.
And I heard there have been one of the podcasts I listened to were talking that you couldn't have Deadpool in another franchise because he would just like break everything. But I think you can absolutely have Deadpool in another franchise because he would be aware of what's going on. So he would try something out that he did in his movie, like, why isn't this working? And then realize, oh, I can't do that in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. He could.
Can you imagine Deadpool in Infinity War and how ridiculous that would be?
Yeah. He doesn't fit.
It'd be
there.
insane. No, but just imagine him.
He could potentially be in. He would actually probably make an X-Men movie better.
Absolute, without a question.
Yeah,
would make
like
it
he could
better.
fit into an X-Men movie, especially with his thing in Logan and
Oh my goodness!
You could have a ball with Wolverine
him
and
and
Deadpool.
Wolverine, man,
yeah,
is so fun. Him and Wolverine is some of
because
the
it was done awful in one of the X-Men,
Yeah.
but you can now
which we
do it a
talked
lot
about a
better.
few episodes ago.
Right, but now that you have established Deadpool and the character in these
Yeah.
last 2 movies, you could definitely make another movie with Wolverine.
I love
there.
how by the end of the movie his suit was just half duct tape at that point.
Yeah,
Like he just Juggernaut was like, I'm gonna rip you in half now, and then he just rips him in half.
I know.
That was so
Hence
good.
why the legs have to grow
Exactly.
back. But
Which
it's funny they bring him back and they have him like just half his body on like a backpack.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's-
The movie's so well done. It
so
really
fun,
is.
man.
Good lord.
And then at the end, Domino's like, I'm gonna need a bus to save all these kids, and then a bus crashes through the wall. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Fire Fist?
Actually, I told you what I thought that was like a young Bishop for some reason, but
I told you he wasn't.
I
You
know.
hooligan.
I know. No, that was good that they ended up saving him actually and
Yeah,
making him into
which
a,
of course he was. Like, of course they
course.
were going to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, his character was pretty cool. I mean, it was just a kid that was
I think
kind of
he did
abused.
I think he did a pretty good job. I think he maybe could have. I couldn't. There were some points in the movie where I just couldn't stand him. I was like, this kid's annoying. Just let him die. I don't care at this point.
He was pretty resilient.
but he
Stood
was
up
just-
for himself
yeah, but he was fine.
after taking a lot of abuse.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but like,
Yeah.
I get you. But also,
Yeah.
this is a movie. Make the characters likable. You know,
Right.
it's like in Aliens 3, where Ripley is in a prison. Like the movie takes place in a prison, and the main characters, the protagonists of the movie, are a bunch of murderers and rapists and thieves.
Right.
Like, how am I supposed to care about these characters if they're all terrible people? Which is kind of how I felt about the kid, because he was just so annoying sometimes. But I think overall he was pretty solid.
T.J. Miller was funny, good comic relief as always.
Of course. Who else was in? Oh, when he was like, "It's enough." What was his name? Butch. He's like, "It's enough, Butch. No more speaking lines for you." And he walks away. We don't see him for the rest of the movie.
Right.
It's so good.
And then there's
Blind Owl was back. That was
Blind
really
Owl's
fun.
awesome. Leslie Uggams, it's fantastic.
There was the scene where, like in the first, there were many references to the first Deadpool, where like before Deadpool went off to the final fight scene in the first one, he was like, "There's a half a kilo of cocaine hidden somewhere in the apartment," and he like there's a part where he lifts the floorboards and you see a half a kilo of cocaine just in the floor. You're like, so I guess there really was a half a kilo of cocaine. Yeah. Like the comic book references, the references to the first movie, it was all so well done.
Right.
I think the multiple fights between Cable and Deadpool, I think were a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything was done well. I mean, the fight scenes were really done. I mean, they were fantastic.
I'm excited. So
I use that word a lot, I think, fantastic. But it really is.
So what would you want to see more? An X-Force movie or a Deadpool 3?
Oh, Deadpool 3.
You think you'd rather see a Deadpool 3?
Yeah.
I think I would rather see an X-Force. Like, bring those characters back, at least some of them. I'd love to see...
On their
I
own?
would
Right, well,
love-
obviously, so X-Force would have Deadpool in it.
I know it would. I'm aware.
Oh, I could see an X-Force movie then, if you're doing that. I'm thinking, like, separate them out.
Because if you like in Deadpool 3, you'd have like the supporting characters, but they wouldn't be as big a role. But I'd love to see like Terry Crews be a superhero for 2 hours.
So when he reset everything, does that reset that too?
No, he only saved Peter.
That's it?
That was it.
So he didn't save all the other people that
No, I
died?
guess not. But really, like, who cares? You could just bring him back and be like, "Hey, listen, just ignore what happened in the last one. They're in this one now."
Right.
Which I think would be fun.
You can do
It'd
that
be
in pretty
funny.
much any movie.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, you can't do that in any movie. You can't, because like Quicksilver died in Avengers: Age of Ultron. You
Mhm.
can't just bring him back and have one of the characters say, "Hey, forget about it." But you
Well,
can. But you
not-
can literally
In another movie, you could, not in an Avengers movie.
What do you mean?
You could bring him back in another Marvel movie.
Yes, but not in the sense of like Deadpool looking at the camera going, "Hey, remember when they died in last movie? Forget about that. They're back in this
Yeah,
one."
you can only do that in Deadpool.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. So bring him back in a Deadpool movie.
Right. Or in an
Part of
X-Force
X-Force,
movie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, I understand now.
I saw Solo, Pops.
So, nice segue. So you saw Solo. I have not yet seen
Speaking
that.
of movies,
Yeah. Speaking of movies, have you seen Solo?
speaking of going to movies alone,
No, don't say that.
why? I went to movie. I saw Deadpool and Solo alone, actually, both of them.
Really?
Well, no, there were other people in the theater, but I bought one ticket for myself. And yes,
So, you'll have to edit this, but speaking of movies, I believe you went to see Solo.
Speaking of Star Wars, yeah, I saw Solo.
Speaking of going to movies solo, did you see Solo?
Speaking of going to see movies solo, did you see Alone?
Did you Speaking of seeing movies alone, did you see Solo?
I'm pretty sure I already said that.
Did you?
Yes.
I really wasn't listening.
And you said, don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Anyways, yes, I saw Solo.
I have to pick one of those to edit out.
I'll just do the same thing I did for the last episode. Just leave it all in.
No, don't do that.
No, I will.
No,
Tell me
no,
what to do.
don't.
I'll edit this
That's
part out.
what to do.
Are you editing this?
Oh, yeah.
I will edit this. You want a clean take?
Clean take.
Speaking of Star Wars, I saw Solo.
Alone?
How was? Oh, how was? Yes, I saw the movie Alone.
You saw the movie
it
alone?
Solo. I saw Solo.
Solo.
All by my lone solo.
Did you bring a cup?
What? It was blue though, unfortunately.
It wasn't a red Solo
It
cup?
wasn't a red Solo cup. I should have though.
That's such
the
a bad
second I
joke.
walked into
You
the
definitely got to edit that because that's an awful joke.
No.
Now that I played it through in my
I'm
head.
keeping this all in. I walked into the theater with my blue cup and was like, I looked at it, like right as the title came up and it said Solo, a Star Wars story. I was like, God, I can't even drink out of this now.
Did they give Solo cups when you bought a beverage?
Yeah, but it was like a promotional Solo. It wasn't like a red Solo cup. They weren't being fun with it. They were being, money.
So
hungry.
lame.
I know,
That's
honestly.
a golden
I
opportunity.
should have just left the theater
You
at
should-
that point.
I would have just said, "Can I have a refund?"
I wouldn't even ask for a refund. Keep my money. Forget it. I'm out.
I'm out.
That's what
'Cause
I-
you don't
that's what I
have
should have
red
said.
Solo cups for a Solo movie.
I enjoyed Solo. I had a lot of fun with Solo.
Really?
I think as far as adding to the world of Star Wars, it didn't do all that much, and adding to the character of Han Solo, it didn't really do all that much. But I think it was a fun, like adventure,
Right.
heist type of movie.
So it was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
You were entertained.
I was entertained.
How about the guy playing young Solo?
So many people have problems with him. I think because they were expecting him to just be Han Solo, but this isn't Han Solo as we know him. This is Han Solo before
he
that.
became right.
So
He was a seasoned vet by the time we saw him.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. In this one, he's like naive. He's like excited to be in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to survive. There are a few things that I was like, "Come on, really?" Like you haven't seen it, right?
No.
Okay, so the way he got his name is ridiculous. The way he got his gun is ridiculous. The way he met Chewbacca, I love.
How about how did he get the
Millennium Falcon, fine. I mean,
So before we bounce, how about Lando Calrissian?
the best part of the movie, without a question. So good. Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Here's another thing. People are saying that Lando was the best part of the movie, but Donald Glover was not doing like Lando in Solo and Lando in Empire Strikes Back are two very different Landos because the Lando that we know because Donald Glover was not playing the Lando that we know, he was playing the Lando before the Lando we
Right.
know.
Same thing. Yeah.
The Lando before the Land of Time. The Land before the time. The Land before time. That's what I was saying. The Lando before time. That's what I was getting at.
That was awful. That's like two bad jokes in the same segment. We can't have
It's
that.
good. We're keeping all of them in. Stop telling me to edit things out. It's not happening. I really enjoyed Solo. There were a few things I didn't like. A few things I found were shoehorned. One of those shoehorned things I still really enjoyed. Like I'm going to be so vague, but there's a thing that happens at the end of the movie, which I felt was so... He's doing the little bouncing thing that Deadpool was doing. So there's a thing that happened at the end of the movie. You see something happen.
Yeah.
And I thought it was such like a... like someone kind of like...
How was that again?
There
you go.
You know what I mean? Like something you like, you kind of want, but you don't think it fits into this movie.
Right.
It's like, hey, huh? What do you think, guys? Huh? But I still loved it. Like it felt so forced in such like a push, but I still loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see a sequel to Solo. So now Solo will be a duo. So good. I enjoyed the movie. More tentacle monsters for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know
seemed
what
to
is
show
it.
up.
I don't know what is with these Star Wars movies and their tentacle monsters.
Right. Now there are no Jedis in Solo, or are there
Correct.
Jedis?
Correct.
Because they would have been around, right?
No.
Of course they would have been.
Who would have been around?
All the Jedis would have been
Nope.
around in that time frame.
No,
Why not?
because it was after Revenge of the Sith. What happened in Revenge of the Sith, Pops? They all died.
Yeah.
Except Yoda and Obi-Wan, which they are not in this movie.
All right.
But I enjoyed Solo. I'd probably put it behind Revenge of the Sith as far as... I mean, it's still better than Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace. Like I said, it's an entertaining... I think it's enjoyable. I think it's entertaining.
Better than Rogue One?
No. Dude, Rogue One, man.
It was good.
I loved Rogue One.
Yeah.
I really, really liked Rogue One. And I think it's because we had all new characters, so
Right.
you had no idea what their fate was. At the end of Solo, you know Han Solo is going to stay alive. You know Chewbacca's still alive.
Right.
You know Lando. Like, there's no stakes almost. And then you have all these characters who you are not mentioned ever in any of the other Star Wars movies. So you know what happens with them, more or less.
Right.
So, pretty good. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's certainly not the best Star Wars movie, but I think people have their standards way too high. I think people need to just take a chill pill, remember that these movies, don't matter, and just have fun with it.
Right.
That's it, really. That's why, there are not a lot of bad movies. Like, every movie I see I enjoy, and it's because I know that more or less the movie doesn't matter. And you're just there to be entertained.
Right.
So I just let myself be entertained.
Yeah, you have to be open to it. I mean,
Yeah,
there
of
are
course.
bad movies. There are awful movies.
There are some very bad movies. But there are some movies that I think a lot of people will despise and I enjoy.
Right.
What else has happened, Pops? Anything in the sports world?
Sports world? No. The Cavs got swept by the Golden State Warriors. So, in the NBA playoffs. So then now the LeBron sweepstakes are going to happen to figure out where he's going to end up, whether he stays in Cleveland, whether he goes to LA, or whether he goes to Houston.
Something happened with his eye, right?
Well, he just got elbowed, a hit,
No.
hit in the eye.
I saw
Nothing
that.
major.
I watched the finals on that I almost said episode. That round of the finals? I don't know the terminology, but on the day Sydney graduated, I watched that game.
Oh yeah, the final game. Yeah,
Yes.
Game 4, NBA
Sure.
Finals. Yep.
Sure.
Sure. So yeah, that's pretty much going on. The Red Sox are on a roll. They're still they're at the top. They got one of the best records in baseball, so that's always
If anybody
good.
doesn't know, we live in New England, so our sports teams are good, from what I understand.
yeah.
Pretty solid.
They're
I
pretty
think.
solid. We're pretty. Your generation of kids are truly spoiled when it comes to professional sports in this area.
There's a podcast I listen to. There's a few podcasts I listen to, but one in particular. These guys every now and then will take a jab at Tom Brady or at the Patriots, and I just think it's funny. That's it.
Well, I mean, you've never had any kind of dominance in football like you've seen with the Patriots.
I know, it's insane.
Probably since, not even close. There's the only sports franchise that I would say is equivalent to what the Patriots have done in modern day, like within the past, 30 years or whatever. Because you had the dominant Montreal Canadiens and the dominant Celtics back in the time, but would be like the San Antonio Spurs. Because they had the same
I know
length
exactly
of dominance.
What sport that is.
Yes.
The ball one.
The ball one, yes.
I hope, because
the
there's
big
one with a
round
puck
ball,
that we don't
yes.
watch.
That would be basketball.
Okay, got it.
So the San Antonio Spurs.
Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine that was a hockey team and I said the one with the ball?
I know. Yeah, and then that had the same amount of championships as Brady has. They've been to pretty much the same amount of finals. I think they've been to 7 finals and won 5, and Brady's been 5 and 3. And then I believe that they had about the same length of dominance would have been for championships with like 15, 18 years. They've always been competitive and relevant.
I think whether you're
And
a
always favored
Patriots-
one of the top teams to be favored to win the NBA championship. So.
I think whether you're a Patriots fan or not, it's impressive what they've done.
Oh, absolutely.
It's incredible. Like, I think even if you despise the
It's
Patriots,
ridiculous.
even if you are,
Especially in the free agent era. It's ridiculous.
especially if you are the equivalent of
Salary cap. It's nuts.
especially if you are the equivalent of a Yankees fan to the Red Sox, I don't know, whatever the opposite of the Patriots is. I guess every other team. Like, it's still impressive as hell what they've done. like without a question. There's
Right.
like you hate the Patriots or love the Patriots. Like it's so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would be so. You had your dominant team, like I said. You had the Celtics. You had the Yankees back in the day when they won a boatload of championships. Celtics won 9 in a row.
Damn.
Bill Russell himself won 9 in a row in 11 out of 13
Who is-
seasons that he played.
Who is that?
Oh my God! Again. Why do you have to say things like that, man? Honestly,
I'm sorry, dude.
Bill
I
Russell?
just don't care.
Bill Russell is probably one of the best basketball players of all time,
Okay.
and he played for the Boston Celtics.
Great.
And he won 9 straight championships, and he played for 13 seasons, and he won 11 championships. So when these discussions about who is the greatest of all time, depending on what you're using for a criteria, and a lot of people are like, oh, how many rings did he win? Well, Russell blows them all away.
Gotcha.
So it's not even a conversation if you just start looking at rings. But different time, different era, that kind of thing. A lot of people say Michael Jordan. Now they're trying to compare Braun or Larry Bird or Magic Johnson.
I want to do an episode with one of your friends, maybe one who is into sports, and just have you guys talk. Appeal to our sports fans.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but I
Right.
just...
But getting back to the original point was that your generation,
It's spoiled as hell.
you guys are spoiled. Are you kidding me? We went for years without any teams being winning championships.
The
or
Red
being
Sox
really,
were quote-unquote cursed.
They were, but now
Till
they've
2004?
won 3 World Series since you've been alive.
You are right. They have. It's
Right?
impressive.
You had five since you've been alive. What, 97?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been to 8 Super Bowls
We'll-
and won 5 of them.
We'll just call it 98.
and you
'cause that was
you missed a 9th Super Bowl because they went in 96. So you weren't born yet, but still close. And then
Yeah.
you have the Red Sox,
Yep.
who've won 3 World Series. You have the Bruins, who won a championship in this time. You have the Celtics, who won a championship and have been relevant, and now they're back on. Like you have experience winning in all 4 major sports in your lifetime. Like, you don't even know what it's like to have crappy teams.
Yeah, I also don't care, though. That's the good thing.
No, you don't, but other people your
Like,
age do, and
yeah,
then
no, I
you're
understand.
realizing that.
People younger than me do.
It's
People
crazy.
much younger than me. My younger 10
Yeah.
years younger than me.
You
cares
think this
so
is how
much.
this is how it's supposed to happen?
Yeah, honestly, when I was younger, I was like, dude, we're going to win. Of course we're going to
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
Everything's going our way.
Right.
Back when I tried to care about sports.
Right.
Speaking of sports, Sports Festival was a thing that happened in Season 2 of My Hero Academia.
Yes.
But we are now in Season 3. So we haven't talked about a few episodes since the last time we talked. So, the last episode that we had talked about on the show was at the end of it when the kids fell on top of Mr. Compress right after he stole Bakugo and
Yep.
Tokoyami. Quite a bit has happened since then. I'll do a quick recap, and then we can talk about the 2 episodes that we just watched.
Okay. Go ahead.
League of Villains take Bakugo to their hideout. A lot of cool fights happen. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool moments. Izuku Midoriya's arms are beyond messed up. He talks with his whole class. Do we go get Bakugo back? Do we not? Do we stay here? Do we leave? What's going on? A few of them, 5 of them, decide to go. Ida, Yoyozori, I think that's her name. Todoroki, Midoriya, and the kid who is like made of stone and stuff. I forget his name.
Yeah.
They decide to go. Meanwhile, there's a press conference that's happening. This is the episodes that we talked about. Oh, I was right. 100% I was right. Bakugo was like, no, I'm not joining your side.
Oh yeah.
I was
yeah,
like
we know.
Bakugo. I was like,
because as crazy as he is, he wants to be a hero.
I know.
and he's gonna do the right thing. So
all that fiery, angry passion
stubbornness.
is laser focused on being a hero.
Right. So there's no way they're gonna turn him.
No, that's what I'm saying, and I called it. I was like, they're probably going to
You
try
did
and
call
turn
it. I'll
Bakugo.
give you props for calling it.
I called it.
Not that it was hard to call, but
Listen, sir.
I'll give you those props.
You
Cum
thought
laude.
he was somebody's brother. I
Cum
think I
laude.
thought it was somebody's brother.
The radio's too loudy.
So there was a press conference. Even Eraserhead said it. Eraserhead was like, they're going to try and turn him. They don't know what Bakugo's like. Bakugo's not going to turn.
Right.
We saw... What else happened? Okay. Remember we were like, what's Dobby's quirk? What's up with is he fire? Is he illusions?
Yeah, he's water.
It's not his quirk. So Dobby does have the fire. That's what he does. But the guy who's like in the black suit and has the two different voices, he can make like clones of people. That's his quirk. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe Dobby has the fire, but that was just an illusion. Like somebody else was making him.
Oh, right. I gotcha.
That's what Twice's power is he can make like clones, duplicates of people. And that's why he's called Twice, on top of why he has the illusions. Or, sorry, on top of the two voices. And we saw the heroes attack the two hideouts, which was pretty fun.
Yep.
That was really cool, the way they just barged in. We saw All Might kick butt. We saw Endeavor kick butt. We saw some of these other heroes.
Our first
that we
glimpse of All for One.
Yes. Our first glimpse of All for One. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty insane. As of right now, I think Stain is way cooler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stain's still the best.
But All for One is so cool.
Yeah, he's getting. It's gonna be the next episode. I'm excited to see the next episode.
I am. Yeah. Like. Holy crap!
So
man.
if you haven't watched My Hero Academia and you're into kind of watching cartoons in general,
or just superheroes, honestly.
stuff, I would definitely watch this.
Listen,
recommend this.
I'd say watch the first two.
Give it a thumbs up.
Sorry, not the first 2 episodes. The first 4 episodes. If you're not at least a little bit interested by then, you can stop watching. Fine, the show's not for you. But if you have even the slightest bit of interest in the show after the 4th episode, watch the show.
Yeah, like
It's
I said
unreal.
previous, if you like, if you like any cartoons, Teen Titans, whatever, if you like,
Not even just cartoons,
Last Airbender,
just
any
just
of that stuff,
superheroes.
you'll like the show.
Even if you just like superheroes,
Specifically, The Last Airbender. If you like that, you'll like this.
because Pops, not just cartoons, right?
The cartoon Last Airbender, not the movie. Please don't go
Yeah,
watch
don't
the movie.
Don't talk about the movie.
Do not
Don't
recommend
talk
the
about
movie. I want that time back in my life.
I wish the movie didn't exist. Honestly,
It just
it's
hurts.
so upsetting.
I'm depressed. I can't even want to finish this.
I
I don't even want to finish. Can we just end it on that?
I think we might have to. No, so if you just like superheroes, because even if not even like forget about the cartoon part, because the fight scenes in that show are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
They're so fun, high intensity.
It's a good show.
Every fight during the sports festival was.
How else do you want me to say it? It's a good show.
It's a great show.
It's a good
great
show. It's a great show.
So yeah, we saw the first glimpse of All for One, who, man, like, so both him and All Might are like lower than their prime,
Right.
or at least we thought, because
No, here they were both holding back
right,
because they didn't want to. Because if
They
the
didn't wanna
two
hurt
of them with
anybody.
all their power unleashed would damage, there'd be tons of collateral damage.
the plan that Midoriya had to get Bakugo out of there, that was
Brilliant.
so good.
Yeah.
It was so and, like just watching that whole thing play out where Bakugo just like launches into the air. That whole scene was great.
Right when he's about to get touched by the dude with a hand on his face.
Yeah, I knew his name too.
Tekakari.
You're so close. What is it?
Takayama.
No,
Todoroki.
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 No, it's not. Todoroki's the fire.
Toyota.
guys. Toyota. That's his
There
name.
it is. Mitsubishi.
Toyota. Camry. Toyota Camry is his name. Oh, we find out what that other guy's power quirk is. With the big lips, the magnetism one.
Yeah.
Magna. We still don't know what Spinner's quirk is. If he even has a quirk, his quirk might just be looking like a turtle.
Right.
I think we know it. What's her name? The girl, whatever her name is. It's like 4 letters.
Yeah. Well, the one that throws knives and stuff.
Yeah. I think you're right. Like she can, I guess, drink people's blood and get their quirk for a bit,
Right.
Or like get their feeling their knowledge or something.
Right.
Man, All for One is sick. All for
Yep.
One's
It's going to be interesting moving forward now when they introduce that after introducing that character.
They also like showed that All for One isn't just is very different than Handman. We're just gonna call him Handman.
Right.
He's because he's like, I don't know how this teleporting quirk works yet. I can't just go using it willy nilly. Like this is what I
Right.
know about it, so it's just easier to have him do it. So it's nice that he's not gonna just like do everything himself. Like he knows that he has all these tools in his toolbox that he has to use.
He doesn't quite know how to use them all yet.
Right.
Like he has to learn how to control them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Exactly. And it's like, yeah, he's like learning his quirks. And then there's another part where he's like, I'm using this quirk mixed with this quirk mixed with this quirk. And
Right.
it makes this happen. So he also, not only does he know how to use each tool, he knows how to use tools together for a better result. This is a devastating villain. Like, going up against this guy, he killed Best Jeanist. We totally forgot about that.
Oh my god, that's right.
Oh my god.
That was surprising that they killed off that character.
Was it the first death in the show?
I think so.
I think so, man.
Wow.
We hadn't seen much of him at all. We hadn't really seen what his quirk was. His quirk is really cool.
Yeah.
His costume is so stupid, but his quirk is really cool.
Yeah.
And we saw more of that wooden guy, who is also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We saw more of Gran Torino kicking butt, I love Gran Torino.
And then he gets punched by All Might.
Which I thought he was dead. I, honest to
Yeah.
God, thought he was dead after that.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought that was going to be the punishment. Like he killed
That's
his
exactly what I
mentor.
was thinking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That would have played out well, but I'm glad they didn't do that to him because I like
know,
that character.
because I really like him too. They
So.
mentioned at the end of that episode, they mentioned the guy who had All for One before All Might did.
Yeah,
Or
and they left it there.
one for all.
One for all. Yeah.
And they left it there. So I think next episode we're gonna
One
find
for
out.
all for one.
Exactly.
Nice.
I think we're gonna find out we already know the origin of All for One or of
Yeah.
One for All, but I think we're going to find out how All Might was given that quirk by the one before him. Because the title of the next episode is actually called One for All.
Right.
So I think we're going to learn about the one who had it before he did, and about how. And
Yeah, some of
why.
the history of it all. Yeah.
Not the history of it all, but the history of
between
All
One
Might.
for All and
All Might.
and then yeah. Well, it looks like One for All fought that guy too. So
Well, no, One for All.
I think One for All probably killed that guy, and that's why All Might has the power now.
Oh, maybe.
That's what I think is going to happen. You're going to see that he was the predecessor to All Might, obviously.
Yeah.
But I bet you One for All had something to do with his death, and that's why the power was passed off to
I
him.
think. Well, you have to give
Some kind of storyline similar to that.
You have to give the power to someone. You have to let someone get your power. You can't
Right.
just.
Well, we'll find out.
We will find out. But I like making predictions. I like saying how right or wrong I was.
I think it's going to be somewhere along that storyline.
I think the whole episode's going to be a flashback. I think,
Yeah.
or like a memory.
Yep.
All
Absolutely. All right.
There was something else I wanted to say though. Oh, there was one really cool thing that they did in this episode, and they kind of made it a point. Because in a society of superheroes and villains,
Right.
it's like, what did the police even do? But they made a point in that episode where they went to the villain's hideout
With backup.
where Gran Torino was like, we only found this out because the police worked their asses off.
Right.
Which I thought was a really cool thing. Because,
In a lot of superhero movies, they don't get credit.
they're just cannon fodder,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really cool thing. Like, no, we do need these guys still.
Yeah.
Which I just thought that was a really cool thing to point out. And, that they made a point
Right.
of that.
So that's it. That's My Hero Academia wrap up. So I think the next thing is what movies are coming out next that we need to kind of see so we
The
can kind of review.
Incredibles 2.
Oh, yeah. It's coming out this
I
week,
think that's
right?
what we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah.
I'm definitely seeing it
What's
Friday.
the next big movie coming out, though? I think it's in July.
You're saying Incredibles 2 isn't big, Pops?
is pretty
This
big.
is 14 years in the making.
Has it been that long?
Since the first one, yeah.
Really?
Yep. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
14 years? Can't
14.
be that long. You weren't that young.
6 years old?
Yeah, I thought,
You don't think I was 6 years old when that movie came out?
No, I thought you were a little bit older. than that.
2004.
Wow, guess so. All right. So you've been 7, but all right.
Depends on when it came out. You be quiet, sir. You be quiet. Because if it came out in June, like it is
Anything
now,
before October 9th?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is most of the year.
Right. That's true. But I think it came out after that. But
Oh, yeah? Do you really? Or are you just saying that so I'm wrong?
I'm just, yeah. I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the other movie that's coming out?
Unbelievable.
Though, while I'm doing this?
I don't know. I will check my calendar because I have
This is,
all the
what's the
movies
big movie that's...
I am going to see on my calendar. Jurassic World comes out next week.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Uncle
That's the
Drew-
one I was thinking of.
Uncle Drew comes out the week after that.
You're going to see Uncle Drew?
I will.
You're going to go see a basketball movie.
Because you showed me all those clips and it was funny.
They were funny.
It's a comedy movie more than it is basketball, I think.
Yeah.
After that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Then a few movies I don't really care about. Then Mission Impossible.
Is Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out in July?
Becomes at the beginning of July. Yeah, 6th of July.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the 6th of July. You and I were. So yeah, Ant-Man, and then doesn't really. Those
All
two
right.
don't really matter. Mission Impossible. Listen, I got
2004.
more. What is the spy who what? Spy Who Dumped Me. I forget what that movie is, but I want to see it. And then nothing really. Then a new Robin Hood movie. And then in October we got Venom and Goosebumps and Mowgli. If
All
these,
right.
if these
I
are
don't
all
want to
still.
go through the whole year. I just want to know what's coming out soon.
Wreck-It Ralph comes out in November though. Wreck-It Ralph 2. Have you seen the first one?
I have not seen Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph is really good, man.
Do you have it on DVD?
I don't,
Blu-ray?
but surely it's on. I think it's on, honestly, I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, really?
It might be on Netflix.
All right,
yeah.
I'll watch. I'm making a point to watch it. Maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight. What's your movie for this week, Bobs?
I think it's the one we referenced earlier in the day. I think anybody needs to see Johnny Dangerously.
I think what
There
we
is
should
some
do,
fantastic humor in that. It is, so it's in the 20s. It was shot in the 80s, about the 20s gangster, and it's a spoof of gangster movies.
it's so funny.
It is so good.
This makes you remember, like, oh yeah, Michael Keaton was a comedy actor
Yeah.
way back in
Peter
in the
Boyle.
time.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, that's another really like. I'm so glad I watched this.
So
movie.
what's another line that I always say that you can remember that came out of that movie?
Oh, I was thinking of picking up smoking,
Yeah.
but this solidifies it.
So he gets his mother an ashtray for her birthday.
For
and
her
she-
like 30th birthday
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, she's 30.
Like-
She looks like she's
But
60.
she's like played by a 6-year-old actor or something.
that all she
insane.
does is laundry, so it's like everybody was looked older back then in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
So he gets him an ashtray, and she's like, "Oh, an ashtray. I was thinking about smoking. This clinches it."
That movie's really good.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that one. I think that's it for the episode.
I
Thank
think
you,
it
buddy,
is.
for listening. If you enjoyed, be sure to share it with anybody, no matter who or what you are. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. We're not on Spotify. Still waiting for that.
YouTube,
We are also on YouTube. Check out all of those.
on your channel on Kinja.
No, I made a new channel for it
Oh, you did?
because I didn't want to spam my channel with
Right,
all that
right.
stuff. And also, I can make a video. Who knows?
Hey, I
what's
like
gonna
I
happen.
like the simplistic kind of logo you made. That's pretty cool.
It's mainly because I'm not good at making logos. But thank you.
But it came out all right.
I
I'm like,
saw-
well, that's actually because you use kind of like a old school kind of mics. I kind of like it.
At Eric's graduation, Uncle Bob was there, and he's like, "Hey, I clicked on that thing you posted on Facebook, and I had no idea what was happening." It was like, he goes, "This is his words. It was like a psychedelic picture, and then you and your dad were just talking." And I go, "Yep, that's exactly what it is."
What did he listen to the whole thing? Or
He's
just a little
like,
bit?
"You guys were talking about something. I don't even. It's like superheroes." I was like, "I mean, at least you listened to it
Yeah.
a little bit."
Yeah. So yeah, we might have to change up the once we get going here. Again, I mean, the reality is we just made this so we would do something and talk about stuff that we enjoy.
Yeah, because man,
It's not like we're out there trying to make this whole thing into
No,
something more than it is.
it's just
But
like
if you enjoy it, great. If you like listening to us talk, even better.
I just like talking to my
we
dad.
can take on serious topics and we can talk about other things, but
I like having fun.
yeah,
I like just having fun. Like that episode we did
just
last
sharing
week.
stuff we enjoy. That's it.
Like that episode we did last week, I think it was a lot of fun. Last week, Jesus.
We did an episode.
Last
last week.
episode, no. Last episode we did the fights.
The fights, I think, was probably one of the better episodes.
I agree. Out of the
I
five
actually
we've done,
listened to them because like it's weird. Like you go back and like I
Mhm.
do this and I walk out. I don't really pay attention.
yeah,
But then I went back and listened to them, and then Holly listened to them and she liked them.
I listened to
The
him.
first one was if you don't really know, the first episode you kind of get through it, especially if you don't like animation.
The subject matter.
Yeah, the subject matter.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, I think,
Pretty
especially
solid.
for people who are into all the superhero movies, will enjoy.
I think it helps that we're big old nerds too.
Yeah, yeah.
Uncle Mark's not gonna like this podcast.
Oh no, he'll rip it apart.
uh,
It could be the funniest podcast in the world, and he still rip it apart.
yeah, he doesn't like much things. Just Deadpool, I think. That's it.
Deadpool. That's about the only movie that he would like. No, he likes older. He likes.
No, I think that just go with me on this joke real quick and just say that the only thing that Uncle Mark likes is Deadpool. That's just it. Can you just leave it? Can we just leave it at that?
Deadpool.
Is the only thing he likes.
The only thing he likes. The only movie
Period.
he likes.
The only thing he likes.
He likes beer
And you're right. He also likes alcohol.
and cards.
I don't think as much. I don't.
And he likes to give people hard times.
I don't.
His
yes,
passion.
He
His
does
passion
Like that. He does like that.
is
But I don't.
is messing with people.
But I don't know if somebody can get that mad at something they like. I'm talking about cards. I don't know if somebody can get that mad doing something they like.
Oh my God! You have to come watch him play cards.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he gets.
So I don't think
he gets livid.
I think he just plays cards just because. I don't know if he actually likes cards.
No, he enjoys playing, but that's just.
Can
him.
you go with me on this?
All right,
joke,
I'm
Dad?
trying. Go ahead.
Forget it. We're done.
Let's do
This
it again.
segment's
Let's
over.
do it again.
Thank you for listening.
That's what editing's all about.
It's not. Stop talking about editing. I'm not editing this out. It's funnier when I don't.
Is it?
Yes.
So you listen.
Can you
to
imagine
it?
if I edit out all the bad jokes?
I know.
It'd be so boring.
It would be boring.
You would look perfect, and it would be so boring.
All right, so we're gonna end up. My recommendation for this week for a movie is Johnny Dangerously.
Yes.
Michael Keaton, Mary Lou Hanna,
We already went over
Peter
this.
Boyle.
Watch that movie.
Watch that movie.
Listen
it's
to
funny.
Listen to this podcast.
Listen to this podcast.
If you listen,
on the various outlets.
Listen, if you enjoy this podcast, give it a rating if you're really feeling it. Give us a rating on iTunes. Give us a rating on Google Play, wherever. But if you don't want to do that, because there's so many podcasts I love, but I don't leave ratings for, but just share them with somebody. If you really like this podcast and you think somebody will like it, let them know about it. Let them know where we're at. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to tune in next week for the next episode. My name is Ian. I've been the son.
My name is Paul, and I am the father.
And this has been our podcast.